What's up? All right, guys, I'm going to do a quick live. And as my title says, I'm having a bad month. I really am. I'm going to try to look up some past numbers. Mainly, there was a question in the comments one time about some revenue my first 5 years, I honestly don't know. What's up, Walter? I honestly don't know if I can. Oh man, I gotta verify. Crap. Now, let's see if I can do that. Damn it. Gotta verify numbers here. Yeah, having a bad month. So what's a bad month? A bad month is things are tight. Payroll's not going as smooth as possible. And it's not like it's been like a slow thing. It's like it just happens so fast. You know what I mean? Oh shit. So, damn it, I can't get into QuickBooks. Taking forever. All right, finally. All right, so real quick, while I'm just kind of talking here, I want to see if I could get a report on my revenue for 2015. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find that, but I'm going to try. So let's see, period. that's 2015. Let's do 2015, January 1st to 12. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's too far away. Oh shit. Let's see. I don't even know if I had QuickBooks back then. I think that's the only way I can figure this out. All right, let's see what comes when I do that. It pulled up, but nah. I don't think I have those numbers. Let me see if I have 2016, and I'll just keep moving. Sorry, guys. Don't know if I'm back yet. Let's see. Is this working? All right. Sorry, guys. Of course, I get a call from my guy. I have a guy working out there. All right. So 2015. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, during these years, I was just kind of learning. You know what I mean? I want to see when I really kind of started ramping up. Okay, hold on. I'm getting text. Hopefully it doesn't mess us up here. Yeah, I don't think I used QuickBooks back then because these numbers do not look right to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. These numbers are not looking right. It's saying I did negative $10,000 total profit, total revenue in 2018. So I honestly don't know where my bookkeepers have been tracking my numbers. It's possible that I'm even in the wrong account. Yeah, so I'm not sure with that. But all right, let's talk about my year. Let me go to last year. I can do that. So again, I'm not having a good year. It's not the end of the world. Like, things aren't dire. It's not like they've been bad for a long time. It's just like in the last 2 weeks, the audio's off. Oh, it's all good again. All right. Yeah, I think the audio goes off when I get a call or something. Um, let's see. What's up, everybody? Things were going really good. Things were going good. I was putting money away. Dude, we're spending a ton of money on basically maintaining all our assets, all our trucks, all the equipment, even the yard. And I think, dare I say, overspent, but it's okay. I feel like I needed to. We had trucks that were just limping along, and I got a good mechanic. I hired a great mechanic this year, and he's still with me, and he's amazing. Like, up there, important, just as any other revenue important guy, he's right up there, because when we have a problem with trucks, he just fixes them. There have been multiple times this year where we've had a truck go down and another truck go down. Multiple trucks go down at the same day, and he gets them up and running, fast, so that they're right back out, almost like they don't miss a beat. Numbers still look good. So he's super important. So I don't want to stop that. And I'm not saying that's the problem. That's probably not my problem. I'm just kind of talking out loud here with all the stuff that it is an expense we've spent probably more than anything else. But I've got, I think, 25 trucks up and running. And there's 3 spare mow trucks. We've got a mow guy learning, so there's only once he's in a truck, hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll have 2 spare mow trucks with the cages and everything, We have 1 spare garden maintenance truck, and even 1 spare landscaping truck if we needed to. And these are different trucks. I think that's it. All the sprinkler trucks are full. We've got 5 sprinkler trucks, and they're full. They've got a full-time worker on them. Well, one of them's part-time, but he works Saturday and Sunday, full-time Saturday and Sunday. That's pretty much a full-time job right there, and he's out there working right now. So my problem right now is revenue coming in. It's just not as high as we would love to expect it to be. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna see if I could take a look at last year's and compare it to this year. So again, my problems seem to have started in the last week of June and then all of July. So let me see what last year, 24, I'm going to go to June, the last week of June till around this time last year, which is July 13th. All right, perfect. That was a Saturday. And let's see what the revenue was then. 157K. Almost 158. I'm just going to change it to 158 because it's right there. All right, so now I'm going to go to this year. I'm just going to change the year, 25 to 25. And it's the same dates, 7/13. And I'll refresh. Ooh, big difference. 123.24. So 124. That's about $24,000, and that does make a difference. Wow. Last year we just had such a good year last year, man. Calculator. There we go. 34,000. That's a difference of like $11,000 a week, and that's that is definitely what I needed too. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like, that makes so much sense. Oh my gosh. Now I will say our sprinklers has been on the up. So let's see. Let me compare that. So we were short 34 in the grass and garden division. Let's see what sprinklers. Oh man, something's saying it's not working. Come on. All right, so, oh my gosh, why is it doing that? It refreshes and then it says something's wrong. Let me hop around tabs, make sure it works. Okay, that's working. I go to my tabs where the reports are. Okay, hopefully it's working. All right, so I'm gonna go 6. The last week of June in 24. So 6. I can't see the calendar, so I've got to make up a number. I'm gonna do 25, and then 2024 to 07 13 2024. All right, let me apply that. Okay, so I should do 24. All right, here we go. Okay, so in sprinklers last year we did 18,000. I'll just say 18. Make my numbers easier. And then I'll change the year to 25. What's up, Matt? Happy Sunday, dude. I know there's some golfing going on this week. I'm going. Okay, so this is good news. So see, like, you would think that this would make a difference. And I will tell you all of the bad that's been happening. Hold on. And in fact, I got an extra day here. All right. So this year, sprinklers in that time frame did 34.7. So we'll just say 34,000 minus 18 of last year. So we did 16,000 more this year in sprinklers. So if we add up last year, 158 plus 16, that's 174. So during these 3 weeks last year, we did 174,000. And then this year, we did 158. So if you subtract the two, we did 16,000 more last year. And okay, so that's a little better. That's a little better. And maybe that, it's a little better. It's still stressful as hell, but that is a difference of 12, 3, 6, 9, $5,000. If I had 5,000 extra a week, that would have definitely relieved me a little bit. I think if I would have had those $5,000 extra a week, I probably might not notice how tight things are. So I'm kind of glad we didn't hit it. Because we have enough for payroll, that's for sure, for this upcoming week. But there wasn't hardly any more money to pay bills. You know what I mean? And that's the part that really has me kind of stressed out. And the truth is, it happens fast. So it's not like, so yes, I've been stressed out like this for probably 2 weeks. Because we have the people, we have the vehicles. For the most part, we have the work. We're just lacking the bigger projects. We're used to that crew bringing in like 4 to 8 thousand, no, maybe not eight, $4 to $5,000 every day, and that hasn't happened. Now, my estimator had a lot of family stuff going on the last probably, I'll say, 3 weeks. That may have been played a part, but it is historically a slow time this year anyway. So unless she was completely focused, we would have done a little better. But I can't blame her. It's already a slow time. She has these family things that she had to deal with. So it's all good. You know what I mean? Like, but the problem is, like, I've got some bills that, like, I didn't pay and they were due yesterday. So that's like the first time in a long time that a big bill, like a big bill, not one that, oh, I forgot to pay it, I'll pay it right now. Not like the light bill, right? Where it's like you get that in the mail and then you got 3 weeks to pay it and then you forget about it and then, oh man, you got a $15 late fee. All right, whatever. This is a big bill and it was due yesterday. It wasn't due yesterday. It just got pulled from my account yesterday and there wasn't enough to cover it. And so that's like, it's a sign for me to be like, dude, what happened? Well, we're not getting big projects. Those one-time big projects aren't coming in right now. But that's all right. Our company is not really 100% designed for big projects anyway. It's nice when those come in. But we're tailored, like we would do fine with some big cleanups. If we just did yard cleanups, our company is like operates really good doing, like a $1,500 job with that big crew and then doing a smaller, $700 job. That's fine. That's how we're set up for, If they do a big, $20,000 job, it takes them 2 days to do, even better. It takes them 3 days, fine. That's great too. Usually our projects don't take longer than 2 days, even if they're big. But that's kind of what's going on. Sprinklers. All right. So here's when I told you I was going to tell you all the bad that's happened. So in the last week, we've had some issues. Not issues, but like some big fees. Basically, my credit card processing took their money this week, and that was $7,000 plus. The sprinkler division, that one they took $2,000, like $2,200 or something like that. Plus, Service Titan took their fees, which is $2,000 with all the techs that we have on there. It's $1,900 for that software every month, while I have 6 techs. So that's a lot. So all those 3 things got paid. We also had a $2,000 refund that I had to pay a customer because we accidentally charged his card for $2,000. And he sent in a check. And he told us he sent in a check, but we forgot. So we saw that there was an outstanding balance. We just charged it. And then we spent it. And then the check came in and we spent it. And then the customer called and pointed out that we charged the credit card and we shouldn't have. And it's like, oh my gosh. So I had to do a refund on that one. So that's another $2,000. So basically, that was $13,000 basically this past week that just happened. So that all hit me at once. I also have this big giant bill that didn't go. That did the bank paid it, but now I have a negative balance in my bank account in one account. Okay, I have multiple accounts. This one I'm not putting any money in until I know I can pay that off because I don't want payroll to get messed up. That's my top priority. Every single day, every single week is payroll. So it is a big hit. It's a big hit. And it's kind of funny because if you step back and think about it, it's like, we'll be fine. Okay. It's a bad week. We'll be fine. It's not like the company's going to crash and burn. You know what I mean? Um, like, it's just bad for the pride, right? It's like pride is taking a beating right now, man. But the company's fine. I mean, we have revenue coming in. We have our workers work. Every worker brings in money. And I track that every single day. We do have some big commercial checks that are due that are should be here any day. We have a big one who their bills every month isn't that much, but for some reason they forgot to pay us for like 3 or 4 months, and we forgot to ask for it so now it's like a big amount that they owe us, and they call the office and they're working on it, and they're going to send us a check. So that's going to be really nice, a little pleasant surprise there. But and again, all this is because we're just all like stretched. All the managers are literally stretched doing work. And so we hired a new estimator to relieve Rachel so she could focus on, first of all, I hope she can relax now. I mean, she's been doing estimates like crazy, man, like 10 estimates a day. And now she can sit down, hopefully, once the estimator is good and on his own. The new one that we hired, he's actually a great hire. We're all so happy we found this guy. She can sit down now and maybe follow up and close a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff. I mean, we have never reached out to leads like the ones that are leads that didn't say yes. I mean, we have a ton of those customers. So she has the opportunity to really ramp up sales here in a little bit. So that makes me feel good. But yeah, it's like I'm just stressed. I got a lot on my plate, man. I got a lot on my plate, and I don't want to sit here and complain about it. I'm not even going to go into it. But that's how, like, I've got 25 workers, 25 people who get a paycheck every week here. And once you have like a slow week, like I've had this week, you start to like, you get advice from friends. You start thinking things in your head. You're like, all right, what are you going to lay off? What are you going to do? What are you going to stop? What expenses are you cutting? It's like, whoa, it kind of reminds me of like the winter time, right? It's like winters are always struggling, right? Like I'm always struggling in the wintertime. And then you think, well, let's not pay these really good workers because they're taking so much money. Well, guess what? They're not going to be there for you in 3 weeks when you need them if you do that. So kind of same thing here with these badass landscapers I have. Yeah, it's slow. So we're having them do like smaller jobs just to keep them busy so they get a check, and because they put in the hard work and they pay it forward to us. So the least we can do is try and keep them busy or ask them if they want a day off. I don't mind asking them, and I'm sure there's going to come a time where it's like, hey man, you really need to take a 3-day week. Well, we've taking a 3-day weekend, like having Fridays off, I'm okay with. I'm always okay with that. Like that never really makes me feel bad because I'm like, dude, enjoy a 3-day week. All right. Like, I don't care if you're mad, enjoy it and come back Monday. And if we're so busy that you can't have Friday off again, we'll get you going. We'll keep you going, Um, so it's like one of those things, right? It's like a lot of advice you get is like quick to cut. Now if this was an ongoing problem for like 2 months and like it never ends, it's getting worse, which still could be getting worse. I don't know. I'm just kind of like going through it right now. I hope it ends soon, this the struggle. But like I'm not cutting anybody. I've actually me and Rachel went on a meeting and we went through every single employee one at a time, and we spent a good 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes on every single employee as we're naming them. We're saying, is this somebody that we would reduce their hours? Will we get rid of them? What can we do? Where can we cross train them? Nope, they're perfect where they're at. There have been a couple where we're like, yes, we need to cross train. We do have some employees who, are making arrangements that we've got to fill their spots when they do what they need to do, whether move positions or going on a long trip. And so we need to like kind of be prepared for that. So there's a couple of people we are cross training, that we're going to be cross training and giving them an opportunity basically for a raise too. So, it's kind of like, I was really thinking about this because I've never, I was pretty stressed last year, but we had a good year financially last year, but it was still very stressful. When I had to buy the property and I didn't have any time to prepare or anything like that, I just kind of had to do it or lose it. Do it or lose it. To be honest with you, even if I didn't buy it, I still would have had my lease until 26, till next year. So that would have actually been, I don't know if I'd be in a better spot, to be honest with you. I still think I would have made the investments we did this year. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. There's a lot going on, dude. I bought the property next door. I'm dealing with the city codes for this property here. I'm going through the application process, which is just a giant thing. I'm dealing with the property that I rented out in another city down here, just because we thought we were getting kicked out of here, remember? So I rented this other place out there. We're using it as our mechanic shop, and so it is something we're using, but it is an expense. It's a high expense, I cut out areas on Thursday routes because of drive times. So yeah, I mean, we have a couple of routes where the workers are probably spending a little too much time driving, but not a lot. Not enough to make a big change. I mean, that was something we talked about on our meeting too. Friday. And it's not a big enough, the drive time's not that bad for us that we need to make any big cuts on the routes. We're fine with that. And the worker we have on it is experienced, has been doing that route for years, so it's going good. I think if we had new people doing that route, we'd have to make some changes probably, but I think we're good with that. With all our mow routes, I think we're good. We've got six mow guys, 6 trucks going out, and then we're gonna have a 7th in 2 weeks. So, and their numbers are good. It's not affecting anything. I mean, if we cut mow guys, all we would be doing is adding a bunch of overtime that would account for the like three workers working, 28 hours a week. So I think we're good with the mowing. With the garden maintenance, it's primo, man. It's awesome. And the landscaping, we just need more work. But once we do, we'll be back in business. Fertilizing, we've got one truck that's full, and it kicks butt, man. That truck kicks butt. The worker is amazing. Sprinkler guys are that's one that I'm kind of surprised with. I would say those guys on average make close to $1,000 a day, and which I find to be good. But I'm really, what's the word? I'm really kind of involved in all those quotes that they do, and they do a lot of $300 jobs. Um, we don't do that many pipe repairs, which those are my favorite because they're like $300 and they only take an hour to do. But we're not getting a lot of those. We're getting valves, valve work. We're getting adjustments, moving one or two sprinklers. You know what I mean? Like we're doing a lot of those kind of things. But we're cranking out the work, man. My guys crank out the work. We're doing about 3 to 4 jobs a day per tech. A day. We have half the schedule filled for next week already. But my surprise is like, because, I've been working on my sprinkler division now for 3 years, pouring in, I would say, like my soul into sprinklers for 3 years. And if you would have asked me even a year ago, like, how busy are you? I'd say, dude, we're so busy and we need techs. If I had 100 techs, we would still need more techs. That's how busy we are. And that's what I used to always say to people because I thought it was true. But the truth is, I have 6 techs that are strong, 6 strong techs. 4 of them, okay, now they're not all super strong. 2 of those are weekend guys, Saturday and Sunday. So that leaves 4 more, right? And my Saturday and Sunday guys are the best. They're really good. I don't say the best, but they're really good. That leaves 4 full-time techs that I have. One of those is still training. So he's riding with somebody right now. So that's like having 3 techs, right? And I've had 3 techs now. Well, the problem is I didn't really have 3 techs because one of them was started probably 5 weeks ago, and he basically, if you add up all the time that he's been off, probably 2 weeks. So he's really been with me for 3 weeks, if you really think about it that way. So I've really had 2 techs for the beginning of the season, 2 full-time techs at the beginning of the season. And I was like, man, we need more techs, we need more techs, we need more techs. But I've been scheduling so good. If you guys could see how good I schedule, you'd want to hire me for real. It would be like, I've never really found something that I was really good at. I used to think I was great at mowing, and I still probably would say that I'm good at mowing. I don't know if people around me would say I'm good at mowing. But I am really good at scheduling sprinkler work. I realized I didn't know this until this year. It's a skill that person needs to do to schedule sprinklers. You can't just get a job on the phone and dispatch it to a tech and just keep doing that all day. That's how we used to do it. And then I realized it was too complicated. Customers kept calling saying, hey, they didn't actually do what I wanted them to do. Hey, they need to come back and fix something. And I go, well, what do they need to come back? Well, we didn't charge you for that. So why would you think that we need to go back and fix that? Like, so much of that was happening in the past. And all we would do is just send out a text, send out a text, send out a text. And you don't make any money that way. So what I started doing this year is scanning every call, every email, calling the customers up, getting more clarification on the job. Once I feel like I have the job pretty much figured out what the problem, what the problem is and what the customer is expecting of us, that's when I assign it to a worker. And I've been doing that now for, I guess I did it starting in June and all of July. Maybe even a little bit towards the end of May. yeah, I think I may have started that end of May, but for sure June. And when I do that, and the schedule now is all organized, I realize you don't need 100 techs. You don't. You know, four on the weekday, Monday through Friday, is enough, and it works. It works. And so I think we figured out the tech situation. We figured out the scheduling situation. We figured out the parts situation and the quoting situation. We figured all that out. The only thing now, I mean, now, are all those things I just mentioned, when I say figured out, are they perfect? No, they're not perfect, but they're really good. Like better than anybody I've seen. Good. Maybe the techs, I've seen better techs out there. Obviously, guys that have their own businesses doing sprinkler work or taking a chance on themselves are probably stronger than my techs right now. But I think if I can keep my guys paid and keep them loving their jobs, they will get better and even be better than somebody doing it on their own. So, what I do need to figure out still, and we have never figured this part out, I tried it in the past, is the training aspect of this. So, I bought the property next door. I told the tenants before they moved in that I am renting out one of the rooms that's the living room, and I put a door on it so they can't. Obviously, there's the door to the outside, but then I put a door with where the frame is to go into the next room, like, you know what I mean, to the other living room, so that nobody from my side can go in that side and nobody from the house can go in there. And I'm going to use that as a training, like, classroom, and I'm going to use the yard as like a training course, like a real yard, you know what I mean? Like a house yard. And now I haven't done it. I'm just all talking now, but I did put the door there, and I was looking at desks and stuff because I feel like what I want to do is I want to have all my sprinkler guys meet me there every morning at 8 o'clock every morning. And we're going to talk about one thing every day for 30 minutes. So, or meet me at 8:30. Hell, even 9. I don't care. But for 30 minutes, we're going to talk about one thing, whether that's fixing something, talking about a new part that can help them do other jobs, or talk about the way they present a service to a customer, or something. We're going to talk about something every day once I get this figured out for 30 minutes. And if they don't show up, there's going to be some kind of like consequence. Like maybe they don't show up for that training. Maybe they don't get their bonus for the week. Maybe they don't they have to miss a day that week. You know what I mean? Maybe they have to take Friday off mandatory. Maybe they have to work Saturday. I don't know. I'm going to do something because training with the sprinklers is vital. There's too many things that always come up. There's always something the sprinkler guys can learn. And I even want to bring in vendors. I want to bring in other past employees who are doing stuff on their own. And I want to pay them to come in and kind of guest speak for 30 minutes or guest teach or show some kind of something for 30 minutes. And that way I keep in touch with them. They also keep in touch with how we're doing. And if they can help us, we'll sub workout to them. I think it's going to be good. But that's the missing piece. Not saying, again, that I've got everything else figured out with the sprinklers. I don't. But I have it figured out enough that works for us in a good way, too. Not just limping by. It actually works. The guys are so happy. I've got a lot of things figured out with the sprinklers because I just think about it 24/7. That is another thing I'm thinking, too. It's like, man, what if in order to save money with Lawn Thumbs, I took myself completely out of the lawn and garden side of things, and I literally just run the sprinkler division as if it's a separate company, and I pay myself through that division only. I was kind of thinking of doing that too because we already separate that software from the others. The reason why we do that is scheduling is better with Service Titan for sprinkler division. It would suck for mowing and fertilizing and all that stuff, but it's perfect for like one-time job type stuff. And it's also really good to present the estimate to customers. It's amazing for that, and it's easy for the worker to charge the customer. It just all works, right? So I was kind of thinking, there could be an opportunity to do that, but to be honest with you, I'd rather find somebody to do this position, do the scheduling and that kind of stuff for the sprinklers, than me having to do it, because who knows what I'm not seeing out there. And it's actually been brought up to my attention by one of the managers, saying that they notice that normally I'm out there with equipment, getting new equipment, looking at stuff, bringing in supplies for the team to get jobs done. I'm always looking for good deals on trucks. The only thing is, I think we have all the trucks we need. I don't think we need any more. So they're noticing that there's things I'm not doing anymore that I used to do because I'm so focused on the sprinklers. But that's how I am, man. That's probably how we all are, right? Everybody watching this is probably like so tuned into their businesses that you can't help it. And I don't think there's anything anybody could say. I'm not gonna, like, if there's a problem in another division, I'm gonna focus on it, but really I'm gonna focus on the biggest problems and stay there for a while, and that's kind of what I'm doing with sprinklers. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Any questions? Anybody out there kind of struggling a little bit, or am I the only one? Let's see here. I actually want to see how our sprinkler guys did. Well, I know a lot of you guys probably don't care about the sprinkler division. Let's see. And not just, yeah. 2, 3, 4. So my sprinkler guys, I'm trying to see how much they brought in this 1 week. Let me see. Is it a week? Yeah. So in 1 week, and we'll just really focus on the 3 full-time guys. Yeah, we're struggling because it keeps raining. Oh yeah, that would suck, man. Like, it's a desert out here, so it's literally 100 degrees. I don't know if it ever gets that high out there. Rained a lot again yesterday, and today it's flooded. That sucks. I don't know how you guys do it, man. I mean, I talked to a few people where it rains quite a bit, and you just kind of just wait till the next day, get backed up, or lose that revenue for that week, huh? We have our struggles with the weather too, but it's only because it's hot. It's 105 in Texas. Dang. There are parts of Utah for sure where it's hot, hotter than that, but not here, not where I'm at. I'm basically in the Salt Lake area. Yeah, I get 110 here in Oklahoma plus humidity. All right, I guess I can't complain anymore. All right, I'll shut up. Hold on, I want to see what my average tech brought in this week. I think I already know the answer because so 4,000. Not bad, right? Not bad. Considering only one of those 4 full-time guys, I only did the Monday through Friday, because the weekend guys, one of them, I only give him jobs that are accepted estimates, and he didn't do that many, and so he only works like Friday and Saturdays, And my Sunday guy who works Saturday and Sunday, he does a lot of the callback stuff, right? So I keep my guys like my four guys who do the regular Monday through Friday work. When there's a callback, I tend to send my Saturday and Sunday guy. That way my other guys can just start working and bringing in revenue again. You know what I mean? So, but my other guy does work too. Like, it just, you know what I mean? I just try to keep my main Monday through Friday sprinkler techs on new jobs, not going back and fixing calls. I send somebody else on the weekend to do that. That way I keep a guy on the weekend on staff in case there's an emergency. I can say, hey, drop what you're doing, go back to the house, but for now, fix this problem over there. And then so he's always available at my disposal. That's why I have a Saturday and Sunday guy. And so while I need him to do my emergencies so he doesn't quit, and I can't just call him up when I need him, I have him doing all the callbacks since I got to pay him anyway. And he's fixing, he doesn't do a lot. I mean, today we have, he's actually doing 4, but a lot of that is me. Remember I did my last video, I looked at those 2 properties. So I have him going, tweaking those 2 again. Plus, we do have 2 callbacks. But again, one of those was me saying, hey, you need to go, we need to send somebody here to fix this. We're always behind schedule 1 or 2 days. Yeah, that sucks. But we are picking up new clients, about 40 plus mowing clients monthly right now. That's amazing. Yeah, I guess if it rains a lot, the people are going to need their lawns mowed. So we get the 100-degree dry weather. We have cool season grass, meaning it's only looks great October, November, and December, and early April, May. April and May, a little bit of June. It looks horrible July, August, September. It looks, unless it's getting a lot of water, it doesn't look good. So we do get a lot of customers who complain about that. Not a lot. It's gotten a lot better, to be honest with you. It's probably, knock on wood, I don't want those calls to come back. I don't know. I think we've been pretty diligent in addressing dry lawns and stuff like that. So everyone needs sprinklers in your area. Yes, you have to have sprinklers for sure. Everybody has sprinklers. You know what's funny is, like, even people who don't think they have sprinklers, a lot of them actually do have sprinklers. They've just been turned off, and the grass has been overgrown for so long that when the new person bought the house, they didn't even know there were sprinklers there. That happens quite a bit. Let's see here. Oops. Donald, do you stand on affect the dry lawn? Do the stand-ons affect the dry lawns? No, not really. Not really. I see what you mean, but it doesn't. A lot of times, if a lawn's like really dry, we don't do anything. Like, we just skip it and we'll tell the customer, hey, we skipped your lawn. And if that happens about 2 times in a row, we tell them they need to cancel or keep paying us to just drive by, Keep talking about dry lawns. Good right now. So close. Going right now. We need to, the problem with dry lawns is the news tells everybody to water 50% of what they're normally watering. And a lot of people are only watering 50% of what they should be watering because they never adjusted their damn time from the last year. So it's like it gets less and less every year. And so when we get there and I look, sometimes I'm looking at a lawn, it's only getting 5 minutes of water. I'm like, dude, your lawn is not going to ever get green with 5 minutes of lawn. Like, customers just don't know this stuff. And I don't blame them, but 5 minutes is not going to help you. So you've got to. So I'll tell customers straight up. I'm gonna like, you need this much water for it to survive. Do you want me to put it on for that long or no? And if they say no, well then don't call me for any problems because there's nothing I can do. It needs a lot of water. So they'll do that, and then we adjust it. There's been a couple of customers where, like today, on that video, there's a customer that I have that's going to have a wedding at her house, and it's like I'm making it my mission, my personal mission. I've got 2 weeks to get it green. I mean, it's already been 2 weeks, and it was dry. What you saw in the video there, it's that lawn that's not the one that's down low. It's the one that's just like flat and it actually goes up in the backyard. That one 2 weeks ago was completely dry where when you step on it, it sounded like hay, like crunchy. So I've been watering it, and then yesterday, was it yesterday? No, it was Friday. I did fertilizer, like I did a heavy iron, like the heaviest iron boost you can do. It's so heavy that if it doesn't get water, it could actually burn the grass. But I feel like I've been checking the watering every day and it's been going good, so I did it. And we're gonna hopefully get it green. So I did it just Friday. I looked at it today because I got my one guy working. I met him there this morning to show him there's 2 sprinklers I want moved for better coverage. And so I'm gonna go back sometime next week, maybe like Wednesday. I'll even go every day. I don't even mind going every day because I put a lot of nitro boost on that thing, a lot. To the point where my office was like, "Are you sure you're not gonna make it worse?" I go, "No, it's not gonna get worse. It's gonna get better. I have to put a lot." She's got a wedding, you know what I mean, in a month. So again, I'm making it my personal mission. Now, this was a customer who got a fence installed, and they broke a bunch of pipes and a bunch of sprinklers, and her sprinklers were actually pretty low. The pipes were really low. So at first, we couldn't find any leaks because the pipe was so low that even though it was busted, the water wasn't rising up while we were walking around looking for where the freaking problem is, you know what I mean? And then slowly, after us going every other day, we started seeing where the puddles are. And so we got them all fixed. And now the pressure is great, and we're just trying to get it back up and running. Yeah, guys, that's kind of what's going on right now. Lawns need a lot of water. I mean, that's another thing that the classroom setting would do is like telling everybody, look, if it's on rotors, minimum 45 minutes, and if it's dry, an hour. And if it's pop-ups, minimum 30 minutes. Really, no matter what, you shouldn't do any more than 30 minutes on a pop-up unless you're really aware of when you're going to lower the water again once it starts getting green. But 30 minutes is good for that. I'd say minimum on pop-ups 25 minutes, maximum on pop-ups 30 minutes, depending on the coverage and that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much what I do. There's a neighbor walking. I don't think she's coming here, but she had the look as if she was. She's not, though. How's it going, Jeff? It's going good, man. Well, as my title says, it's a bad month. What does my title say here? I forgot. It's been a while. I'm having a tough month, but I think every year there's always a tough month. But or more, I don't know. This one I'm struggling. Not struggling, like mentally I'm struggling with this one because it's one of those things. It's kind of like 2 + 2 is 4, but it's coming out to be like 3, and it doesn't make sense to me. I have all the people I need. I have all the equipment I need. For the most part, jobs are pretty full. They could be more full. They could be more full for sure. They could be fuller. Um, and even my sprinkler team is doing good, which I thought that was going to be the game changer. I thought if I can get that organized, it would supplement everything and be a game changer. And it's not. But I had a bad week with a lot of charges. So like Service Titan was $2,000. That got taken out this week. The credit card processing took out the sprinkler, which was another $2,400, and I had to do a $2,000 refund of money that I spent a while ago because there was a miscommunication with billing. We were supposed to wait for a check, but my office charged it, and then we got the check. We cashed it, used it, and then after all said and done, the customer asked, "Where's my refund on my credit card?" We're like, "Are you guys charged my credit card? You shouldn't have done that." We're like, "Oh, damn it!" So I had to do a refund. So I mean, right there, we're like $6,000. So that hurt. And then the other side of things, the lawn and garden, the merchants got their money, and the big projects are down. So all that happened in one like 2-week period, and it just kind of hit hard. This heat is bothering me. You can tell me I'm getting older. Yeah, well, it's hot, man. Even this is the first year where I've noticed like my workers are kind of like in the middle of the day, basically wanting to, I don't know, just not wanting to finish the day because I mean they do, and they're rock stars, they're animals because they get it done. But this is the first time I've noticed in the middle of the day them having to say, "Hey, I'm taking a break because the sun's just too hot." I do have the same guys basically for 4 years now, and you do get older, man. You get older. That's the thing with this business, man. When you have good workers, you gotta keep them efficient as possible because you're not. Eventually, they do get slower because they get older. And that's just the way it is. So when you've got a good worker, like it's your time to keep them busy and really utilize that time with them as much as possible. And I'm always aware of that. I'm always aware of that. When like right now, we have really great sprinkler techs, and I'm doing everything in my power to keep them full. And I'm doing that because I know how important it is when you've got good workers, keep them busy. That's how we're going to make money. So anyway, guys, I just want to do a quick live today. Oh, I do have an update. Give me a like right now if you've liked my videos. Come on. I've been doing 2 videos a week for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. Let me know. Give me a quick like if I've been doing good with that. Because you know me, I'm not consistent with that kind of stuff ever. But I do have an update on that. My video guy got another job. So I don't know if I'm going to be as consistent as I was before, or at least last month. He was amazing. He was doing great. And he sent me this long text explaining why he's, he wasn't my employee. He was doing it as a side thing, as a W-4 worker, whatever. No, you know what I mean. 1099 worker. It was great. It was perfect. But he got a job where they're going to require all his time. And I'm happy for him because he's good. He's good. Going to demo a Ferris Z1 36 because of your video. Oh, nice. That's a good mower. Actually, I think most of my workers would rather use that Ferris Soft Ride Z1. Um, it it actually holds up, which is something I didn't mention in that video because more time had went by now, and I noticed this new thing that's good about that mower is that it actually holds up better than the grandstand, especially the platform where you stand on. I think we've broken 2 this year and like 3 last year because it's so bouncy. You know what I mean? And like with the weather, whatever, the angle that you're standing on it, where you're standing on it, all makes a difference. And then they snap, and then you got to weld them. You know what I mean? Or buy the new part, and those parts are like $900 for a new stand, and it's really hard to put on, really hard. And the Ferris, that soft ride, it's kind of like it's part of the mower. It's not really an attachment, and so it holds up really good. My cousin broke his grandstand, so it made me not want to try it. Yeah. I don't know. I love the grandstands. I love the easiness, the lightness. I like the wheels. They're not so big, but you know what? These guys actually tell me that the big Ferris wheels is why they like the Ferris. Because it's so wide that it doesn't sink into the lawn like a wet lawn, like the mower, like the grandstands do. At least that's what they say, and I know that that's what Ferris Rep told me when I first got the mower, and I said that in the video too, because that was one of the key features of the big tires. I do like that the Ferris is more compact than the grandstand by a lot. So that's good too. The only problem I have with the grandstand now, or sorry, with the Ferris, is to lift it up and clean the deck. Even when we use a dolly, or what, not a dolly, is that called a dolly? Like even when you use something to lift up the whole mower, it still doesn't lift up very high. So that's my only issue. But it's not the end of the world, and I don't actually clean the equipment anymore. I used to do it all the time, and I actually never thought that I would be able to pass that one off, but I did finally. So, Ferris is a good mower. It's a great mower. I think something's happening though. Nobody's told me this, but I saw that some of those Ferrises, I don't know. Nobody's told me anything, but I saw that their price dropped quite a bit, which kind of tells me, I don't know, makes me feel like something's going wrong with that mower because it used to cost more than the grandstand. So, and I don't want to speak out of turn. Nobody's talked to me about it. It's just something I noticed as I travel the world, as I travel the city, you know what I mean? I just noticed it. So, anyway, guys, that's kind of what's going on with me. I've never been more stressed, but I feel like I've been this stressed last year too. I just can't remember. And I know I was more stressed the year before because that was the worst year I've ever had. 23 was the worst year I ever had. And last year was financially my best year, but I still had the stress of buying the shop. So I was talking to Jose yesterday, and he brought up a good point. He's like, since I've known you, every time a big opportunity comes, you never have time to plan for it. It's just like, now, do it. For example, when I got this location, in order to get this location, I had to buy somebody else's client list and all his equipment, right? His vehicles. So it was like, hey man, I need this much and this is what you'll get, but I need to know now fast. Or I'm going with somebody else who made an offer, but just not this good. So either take this deal or I'm selling it to somebody else at another deal. Okay, boom, I did it. I came up with the money. I think I had a couple months, but I had to do it, right? I mean, at that point, you commit, you sign, you shake hands and all that stuff, and you got to do it. But no notice. It's not like I had 5 months to plan. It was like, hey, can you do this? I said yes without thinking because I just wanted it. And I made it happen. Another thing was when the landlord sold this property to somebody else and they were trying to kick me out, I was like, I fought it, and then boom, well, you can buy it now, but you have to do it within this time frame. You have to buy it in this time frame or you can't buy it. So boom, here you go. And it's not like buying a property is that easy. You got to come up with a down payment and all this stuff, right? You got to have good credit. You got to do a lot of stuff. So I did it. And then I got the property, and then it was like, well, in order to stay in the property, you're going to have to do these things. And I've been doing these things, and it costs a ton of money. I don't know if you ever built anything or updated a property to fit the code. Like, you need to have engineers involved, geotech companies, surveyor company, designers. Like, it's super expensive. I think it cost me, I'm in so far about $30,000 just in the application process. And guess what? The application process, you get 4 months to finish it. You only get 4 months. Now, I did ask for an extension, so they gave me 6 months. But I was pretty much at the end with the 4 months. I was right there. I just asked for an extension because I didn't want to be like late and then ask for an extension. So I wanted to do it first. And they said that, you know what, they know that I've been doing stuff, so they're going to work with me, and they gave me an extension. I better check the times because I bet you I'm close to either needing another extension or something. See, that's something I got to deal with, man. Because if they say no, we don't want to work with you anymore, you got to move out. I mean, what the hell? You know what I mean? In some weird universe, some weird dimension, I'm like, man, would that make my life easier if they just kicked me out of here and I had to sell the property? Would that make my life easier? I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm dealing with that, and that was like, boom, here you go. I didn't have time to think. I didn't even know I was going to have to upgrade the property. Did not even know that. So boom, I got to deal with it. All this stuff is happening. All this stuff happened. Boom. You got to go do it. The neighbor next door. Hey, I bet you would love to buy this property. It's right next to your shop. You can add it to your shop, make your shop bigger. Of course I want it. Well, you need to buy it now. Or I'm putting it up. I haven't talked to a real estate agent yet. We're just going directly to you. I'm going to ask you first if you want to buy it. Oh my gosh. But we need an answer in 3 weeks. Actually, first he said we need an answer this week. But when I told him I was really interested and I need to do some due diligence, they gave me 3 weeks. But it was like, boom. You want this? Boom, now. And this is the stuff I'm dealing with, dude. And so I bought it. It all worked out. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. I had to do it, but boom, you got to do it now. So, I mean, this is where I'm at, dude. This is where I'm at. It's like, it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. Now, these are all good problems. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking you guys. There's some people on right now I'm genuinely curious. You just heard my little stresses, right? I got this property with the upgrades that I've got to do. I've got to pay for that stuff. I bought the property next door, so in the future I can add that to this property. I can't do it now because I'll have to upgrade that property, maybe tear down the house. It's a big project, but for now I can keep it as a rental, and the city is cool with that. So I bought the house next door. I'm not really too worried about that one. That one I'm not really too stressed about, but it is on my mind because I got to pay the mortgage. You know what I'm saying? I got to upgrade this property, and I'm dealing with that, and I'm dealing with the growth of my business. Right? So, is this a good problem to have? That's my question. Do you think, is that a good problem to have, or am I like way overwhelmed? Do you think I should be dealing with these issues, or do you think I'm overwhelmed and I shouldn't have gotten myself into these things? What do you think? I genuinely want to know, for real. What would, if you were like, oh, I have that. If you were given the opportunity that I have to buy this property and then upgrade the property and deal with who knows what that's going to cost, and buying the property next door so that eventually, if I do need outgrow this business or this location, guess what? All I got to do is remove the fence and it makes some changes, and then boom, my property goes up 1/4. The size goes up 1/4. So I have that as my back pocket when I need growth, right? When I need more room. I don't know. I genuinely would hope, like, I'd love to hear somebody say one way or another, you went over your head, you shouldn't have done it, or yeah, I wish I had that problem. What would you say? I'm glad I don't have those problems that you have, or I wish I had those problems you have. What do you say? I'm genuinely curious, and Walter, if you're still on, I'd love to know what you think. Um, are you glad I don't have these issues, or would you want these issues? I don't know. Maybe nobody will answer. But I'm gonna stick around for probably one more minute. I'll stick around for one more minute, and then I'll call it a day, guys. It's Sunday. After before I this whole morning, and while I was talking with you guys, I did feel a little better as I got it out. As I got out, like, my issues that we're having. We had a bad 3 weeks. We did actually. What did it come out to? 16K less than last year. Plus, we had like these big high bills that I bet you we didn't have last year at this week. Maybe we did. I don't know. So I got gut punched a bunch of times this week, and I was feeling like you could see a comet coming and you can't do anything about it. You know, you're just gonna have to brace for this. Right now, I'm feeling like I could stop the comet. You know, after talking it out. You know what I mean? Because I was able to put things in perspective. Right? I've got the revenue isn't. It was a lot more. It was 16,000 more last year. No, was it 11? Damn it! Now I can't remember. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It could be 16. Um, and I don't know. I mean, like, I just looked at what my sprinkler guys did. We actually have a busier schedule, I think, this week than we did last week. So that might be better as well. We got a new estimator who's doing his first estimated job with the crew because it's a new thing we've never done. We've never done a French drain. And he sold a French drain to a customer. I think he underbid it, but hopefully he'll learn soon, and all that. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. Can't believe nobody would answer a simple question I had, dude. But it's fine. It's fine. All right, guys. Talk to you later.